Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the online service of the Church of Infinite Spirit. I am Reverend Skye, one of the founders of this church, and our community has been meeting since 1999. It's the mission of this church to support spiritual freedom by inspiring people to know themselves as spiritual beings and as a part of the consciousness that creates this universe. And we celebrate the joyous transformation that comes from that knowing of self as spirit. We hope to recapture the intention of church as a respite from the noise of life, as a space of remembrance of our spiritual nature, and as a place of joyful connection. We are non-dogmatic and non-judgmental. There's absolutely no control, punishment, or reward energy in this space. We respect your divine right to create your reality and manage your energy however you choose. And it's always a take what you can use and leave the rest environment, meaning that when we share, it's with the intention of inspiring you to find your own truth, rather than asking you to follow ours or convincing you to agree. I'm honored that you're taking a break with me today for about the next 30 minutes or so to remember your spiritual nature and to give to yourself. When we get together, we always meditate. We always start this space with a short meditation. Meditation invites us out of the stories we're telling ourselves, about what's true, and about what's possible. And it invites us into a deep spiritual truth, where we have the power to change our story and change our lives. And doing it together is so powerful. So we'll do a short meditation now to help us come present, take a break from everything that's going on around us, and get in touch with everything that's going on within us. If you want to participate, it's helpful to put your feet on the floor for this style of meditation. And it's helpful to close your eyes. If you're more comfortable off video, that's fine. If you're more comfortable on video, that's fine too. If you need to make any adjustments to the environment around you to set yourself up for success, particularly turning off the phone ringer if you can. If you don't have anybody depending on you at a moment's notice, it's really nice to give yourself the space of turning off the phone ringer so you don't hear that very compelling ding or chime or ring that tends to draw our attention right to that phone. Great, so let's settle in. We'll walk through a 4-step process to make a big shift. The first step is called grounding. Grounding is an imaginary connection from the base of your spine to the center of the earth. And we do it by intending or pretending. To start, would you give yourself a big deep breath? Great, grounding can begin with a big deep breath for the body. What a difference a breath makes. Would you notice your physical body? Just acknowledge it. Say hello to this great creation of yours as a spiritual being, your physical self. Notice your neck and shoulders. Might be a little tense, it's okay. Notice your back and your arms, maybe your hands in your lap, your butt in the chair. Notice your legs, your feet on the floor. And would you now particularly notice your spine and the base of your spine? The base of your spine is the back of the first chakra energy center, and it's where we ground from. To ground, would you imagine perhaps a colored beam of light extending from the base of your spine, just like a tail would, only it's straight down. This colored beam of light, maybe it's green, blue, red, is going to extend down through your chair, into the floor, all the way through the layers of the earth, and all the way to the center of the earth. To ground, we connect the first chakra energy center of the body to the center of the body's planet of origin, Earth. If a colored beam of light just doesn't work for you, you could ground with a tree root or plant stem, or really anything at all you can imagine. Colored beams of light, tree roots, and plant stems are kind of standard grounding cords or common grounding cords, but anything will do, anything you can imagine. This grounding connection from the base of the spine to the center of the earth serves us in so many ways. It invites us into the body as a spiritual being, brings us into present time. And so importantly, this grounding cord, as we call it, becomes a trash chute for any energy we don't need to be carrying to fall to the center of the earth for transformation. So much of the pain we experience on a daily basis, so much of the stress and the worry and the stuff is simply a symptom of energy recycling through the chakra system, energy that's not in alignment with the spiritual being that we are. So when we ground, that energy has a place to go, the center of the earth, where it can be recycled. It's not littering to the center of the earth. The center of the earth receives energy gratefully and recycles it, transforms it into neutral creative force. So it's okay to let go. And you could even imagine or intend, I let go. Anything I don't need is free to fall away, to be received and transformed at the center of the earth. Notice your body might relax a little more. The bodies respond to all the energy we carry. So perhaps some tension releases. That's grounding. Second step of this 4-step process is to open the 6th chakra energy center. The 6th chakra sits right in the middle of our heads, behind our eyes, between our ears. And it's a space of clear vision, clairvoyance, and our capacity to see ourselves and our paths clearly. The way to open the 6th chakra is simply to place your attention there. Focus or imagine being in the middle of your head. Energetically, we can be anywhere and anywhen. We can be many wheres and many whens. We can be scattered across space and time. And when we intend to come present into the middle of our heads, brings all that power of the self right into the present moment, the present time body, here and now. So imagine being in the middle of your head. Sometimes when people first come into the center of their head, they say, I don't feel anything. And that's common because we're coming out of all the emotional kind of chaos and the mental chaos and the surround. It's quiet in there. It's nice and calm. So if you imagine being in the middle of your head and kind of don't feel anything, give it a moment. You'll get used to it. It's an incredibly powerful space. Next, we're going to manage our aura fields, the fields of energy around us. We call that the aura. Everything emanates energy, our bodies, our spiritual selves, objects, situations, encounters. We live in a sea of energy. Defining our aura boundary or aura bubble helps us define our part of the all one and kind of manage our energy in the sea of all that is. To manage your aura, simply pretend or imagine, once again, this time imagining a bubble all around you. And it's going to be about an arm's length all around. You can't see my arms extended all the way, but that's kind of the size of a bubble. A good aura bubble is an arm's length around. Sides, top, bottom, front, back. Kind of what you would imagine as personal space. Setting up this aura bubble helps us define what is ours, what is not ours, what is within our control, and what isn't. And it's also a good boundary. To strengthen the boundary, you could imagine painting the bubble a color. Mine is kind of a bright, deep pink right now. You could pick any color you like. And you could even imagine, after you bring your aura bubble to a color with your imagination, look at the bottom of the aura bubble, below your feet, right? It'll be about an arm's length below your feet, so under floor. If you were to imagine that bubble connecting with the grounding cord way under the floor there, energy can release directly from the aura without even having to come into you. The energies that we carry in this space, our bodies, the spiritual body, which is merged with the physical body, the bubble around us, these energies, vibrations, or frequencies we carry and embody create our experience of life. So we change our lives by changing our experience from the inside out, changing the core vibrations that are creating the experience. We do it by letting go down the grounding cord, what doesn't work. There's other ways of letting go we'll talk about in a bit. We also can bring in the energy we like and begin to become proactive about our experience by seeding our realities with the energies that we choose. We have the power to choose. One way to choose is to pretend, once again, a big golden ball of light above your head. Pretend or imagine a big golden ball of light above your head, just like a big gold sun. Maybe it's as big as a beach ball. Maybe it's as tall as you. Maybe your height is its diameter. Maybe it's bigger than that. It can be as big as you'd like. How big can you imagine? And we bring in energy by choosing a vibration to seed this golden sun. We choose a vibration. Think of a word. What would be a word you'd like to experience more of in your life? Would you like more love, fun, peace, joy, clarity, balance, passion, willingness? What would be a good vibration for you? It's nice to pick one vibration. We're going to set the sun at that vibration. You know, it's compelling to say, well, I want peace, love, and joy. And if you can do that, but we're going to use one word per golden sun. One word per golden sun is much more effective than a salad sun. So what word would you pick? I'm going to pick fun. And we're going to take our word and place it right on the surface of the sun, like writing the word across the sun. Just pretend, imagine, picture it. And what happens, watch what happens when you write that word across the sun. It's like dropping food coloring into water. The sun is going to absorb, embody, take up the word and become it. The word is multiplied and you end up with a big gold sun of the frequency that you've chosen above your head. It's very powerful. And when you have a big gold sun of the vibration you've chosen above your head, imagine that gold sun just starting to set right into your body. Or if you'd like, imagine reaching up and poking a hole in the bottom of the sun like a water balloon and let the energy start to stream into you. And just imagine receiving. You're receiving energy in the form of golden light, vibrating at the frequency you've chosen. So into your body comes the love or the fun or the peace or whatever you've chosen. Just sit and receive. Let the energy come in through the top of your head and fill you up, top to bottom. So all the cells in your head and brain receive the spaces between the cells, and the energy continues in, filling your neck and shoulders, your chest and arms, your torso, all your guts, your legs, your hands, your knees, all the way down to your feet and toes. And if you become so full, there's no room for more, let the excess energy spill into the aura bubble around you. Let it come in, receive, breathe it in. And you'll notice that the energy of the golden sun is integrated into your being. So there's always room for more. Take a breath and notice how you feel. This power to create, change, transform our experience is within every one of us. Let's claim it for a moment. You might want to stay right here in this meditation space as you receive today's message. Or you might want to open your eyes and stretch your body. Look at the screen, everybody's box. Do whatever's right for you. Life in Earth today seems to be giving new meaning to the phrase, never dull or boring. We used to always say when I was a student, it's never dull or boring, and it really isn't, especially now. Early this year, an astrologer I love, Virginia Rosenberg, wrote an article describing 2021 as a bumpy dirt road between two highways. And she said, we're four-wheeling the transition between realities. Which road we choose next, of course, will be up to us. It's always good to remember no future is written in stone. Boy, it'd be great if it was, right? But if it was in stone, we couldn't change it. So no future is written in stone. We get to create it moment by moment by moment. And as we create, especially now, the ride is bumpy indeed. Things are uneven and uncomfortable on a global scale, on a national scale. For most people, on a community and personal scale as well. Agreements are changing, relationships, workplaces, governments, lots of flux. People are moving, quitting, creating, destroying, coming and going, masking and unmasking and masking again. When the road is bouncy, it's best to go with it. It's kind of helpful to be loose, to ride the ups and downs and the unexpected turns and not holding on too tight. If we were to picture a mountain pass here in Colorado and riding in a Jeep or any four-wheel vehicle, it hurts more when you hold on tight. I'm not a big fan of four-wheeling on the edges of mountains, but what I have learned is that it hurts when you hold on tight. It's easier when we kind of let the bouncing happen. So now we're four-wheeling. And when four-wheeling, it's important to bring the right supplies for the trip. Here in Colorado, that means plenty of water, of course, food, a jacket just in case, and at least one spare tire just in case. And when we're spiritually four-wheeling between realities, it's important to bring our energetic supplies. So, some spiritual supplies for the road trip we're on in 2020. First, Havingness. Havingness. Pack a lot of Havingness. What is Havingness? Havingness is a vibration. It's a flavor of energy. We just set our gold suns at a flavor with a word. Havingness is a flavor too, like love, peace, fear, or joy. Havingness involves allowing, receiving, deserving. Havingness is a multifaceted vibration, and I could do a whole talk on it. But the aspect of havingness that's most important for us right now, today on the journey, is allowing what is. Havingness allows what is. I can have that this is happening. I can have that this is so. It's non-resistance, and that's really powerful. Havingness is not giving up. It's extraordinarily different than surrender. Actually having what is creates greater possibility of change. Resistance, no, this can't be happening. That generally doesn't bring healing or transformation to situations or to people. With havingness, we allow what is, and we don't waste precious life force energy fighting what is. Instead, we put that energy toward healing, next steps, transformation, new reality. This is so, and now what? Increasing havingness broadens our possibilities of experience. When we expand the range of potential realities we can embrace, we grow beyond old limitations and old beliefs. Havingness is the energetic equivalent of going with it instead of gripping. The gripping, the resistance, is a heavy burden on the traveler, and it takes up a lot of space in our vehicle or reality. Second, bring along your capacity to name a thing. Everything is how we name it. Everything is how we frame it. There's so much untapped power in naming. How we define any situation is what it is. So a job change is either scary or exciting. Aging can be a problem or a gift. A relationship shift is an abandonment or a completion. It's simple, and I get that it's not always easy. When something happens, we want to watch what we're saying to ourselves, especially long term. Maybe the first reaction is wild and chaotic and emotional, and that's fine and that's human. But what are we telling ourselves in the long game? That'll be what it is. Naming is a spiritual challenge that brings great empowerment and the potential for inner peace. Third, bring along your capacity to be of service. Helping someone else in little or big ways uplifts our vibration. One of my favorite books is called Testimony of Light by Helen Greaves. And in her book, Helen says that being of service is the highest honor in spirit, but it has to be authentic. Authentic service is from a full cup. Long trips like the one we're on require breaks and rest stops along the way. We have to take care of ourselves to give authentically. And just a side note for the folks on this call, those of us that love to give must also learn to receive, because there can't be any giving without receiving. Fourth, remember to look around at the scenery as you go, at the bigger picture. Notice, this is not the end of the world. Notice that even with all the unpredictability and change, life moves on in little and big ways. Our grandson got the training wheels taken off his bike 2 weeks ago. And after proving he could ride without them, he even got a new, bigger bike. It was beautiful to watch him go down the driveway for the first time. I watched his mom kind of cringe, with that concern of moms, but there's no going back. Even though he's still working on braking, pretty soon he'll be going beyond the cul-de-sac in so many ways. In early 2020, a young teenager in our neighborhood died of cancer. For months, their house was strewn with these purple balloons in various states of inflation or deflation. Purple was the girl's favorite color. People would bring balloons and put them in the tree, honor her. But the other day I walked by and all the balloons were gone. There's a for sale sign in the yard. Time for next steps. And last of our supplies for the road, remember to look within. Pack your capacity to meditate and your willingness to do it. Meditation gives us space to take a break from thoughts that create our stories. We can become the observer of those thoughts, and we can change them. We can change the energies that create the thoughts themselves. We can reconnect with our spiritual nature, and that's so reassuring in times of challenge. And we can let go of anything that isn't ours or doesn't serve our highest path. Meditation is a game changer. Yet there's all this energy that says to put it at the bottom of the list. If it's at the top, the list itself changes. So we need to pack our willingness along with our capacity. So let's exercise that capacity and willingness now and have a little meditation on our supplies. If you'd like to participate, please do put your feet on the floor and please do close your eyes. You'll get a better result. There's so much visual input, it's hard not to engage with it. When we close our eyes and let that rest, it opens up a lot of attention to go within. So as you close your eyes, notice the grounding cord you created earlier. Is it still there? It might be, it might not be. It's that connection from the base of your spine to the center of the earth. If it's just gone, if it has popped off in response to the words, you can simply reimagine it. A color beam of light, a tree trunk, pardon me, a tree root, a tree trunk, maybe, a plant stem, growing from the back of the first chakra, the base of your spine, through the chair, through the floor, through the earth, all the way to the earth's center. And just notice with your imagination, the center of the earth kind of greets that grounding cord and takes it in. The grounding cord stabilizes the chakra system and invites release. Be in the middle of your head, that space of clarity, where you can observe the energies you're carrying instead of being them. When we're being the energies we carry, it's hard to change them. But when you come into the center of your head and you can sort of notice, oh, hey, look at all the stress, look at all the anger, look at all the whatever isn't fun, it's easier to let it go. And it's not suppression, it's true release. True release comes from a change of perspective, not from holding something down. And as you sit in this space, grounded, you're in the middle of your head, you got your bubble around you. Would you notice your reality? What thoughts have you been running? And are they nice to you? Are they supportive of the experience you'd like to create? If you don't like particular thoughts, you can simply imagine dropping them down the grounding cord. Maybe you notice that you've been naming something in a way that isn't going to serve you long term. If there's been a challenge, an opportunity, and you've wrapped it in a story of pain, without invalidating your feelings, you can change that story. What would be a new way to name that challenge that could be an opportunity? Every challenge can be transformed into an opportunity with perspective. You might not even know the new name, but you could simply notice you've been naming. Oh, hey, I've been saying to myself that this or that is a crisis, problem, worst thing in the world. What else could I say to myself? Because what you say to yourself is what you can hear all the time. And what you say to yourself is what your body's going to respond to, what your cells are going to respond to, what your emotions are going to respond to, and what your experience of life will reflect. One of the things that helps in renaming is havingness. Remember, havingness, just talked about it. Let's try bringing in a gold sun of it. We brought in a gold sun earlier of some vibration. Let's try it with havingness. Would you create, imagine, or pretend a big gold sun above your head? Big golden ball of light. Notice how big you can let it be. Can you let it be as tall as you are? Can you let it be as big as your house? Whatever's right for you. Make a big gold sun and then set it at the vibration of havingness, Havingness, by writing the word havingness right on the surface of the sun, kind of labeling the sun, naming the sun. It's a gold sun of havingness. And when you put that word on the sun, watch the sun absorb, become, multiply that word. It'll become a big gold sun of havingness, and it'll be the vibration of havingness that's just right for you because you created it. And when you've got a big gold sun of havingness above your head, would you pop it or drop it? Let it set into your body or reach up and poke a hole in the bottom of it and let that havingness come into you. Notice what it's like. Maybe meet havingness or familiarize yourself with havingness as you receive it. Let it come in and fill you up. Head, neck, shoulders, chest, arms, torso. Other organs. Your legs, hands, knees. Bring havingness all the way through to your toes and toenails. If there's more, let it spill out into the aura around you. And let it be integrated into your being, into the energetic field that is you. Notice your power to change your world by changing your energy. If you like this space, please revisit it. Meditation can be this simple. Notice the deep constants of existence, the truth of spirit, incarnation, and the journeying soul. Notice that even though the road is bumpy, you are always in the driver's seat. Just take another big, deep breath for that body. If you like, you could stay right here. Or if you'd like, you could open your eyes and stretch. One of the things that makes a church service an official church service, according to the government and the IRS, is the offertory. The offertory is when we ask for donations to the church. So were we in person, this would be the time in the church service where we would literally pass the baskets and ask for donations to the Church of Infinite Spirit. And since we can't do that right now, we accept donations on our website with deep, deep gratitude. The website is innerconnection.org, all one word, innerconnection.org, under the sanctuary page. So please consider a little support if it feels right in your heart. We always ask that you contribute only what feels good and from a place of joy, never out of a sense of obligation. We are a nonprofit, so your donations are tax deductible. And please know that your donations make a difference. Even a small donation means a lot because they come together. They help with website maintenance, the Thinkific platform where we host our free stuff, and the other things that make the Interconnection Institute and Church of Infinite Spirit possible. We appreciate your contributions deeply, and we always intend that the total of today's contributions will come back to each of you many, many fold. When we're in person, we tell jokes while we do the collection, so I've got a few. Last year, I wrote a book on penguins. In retrospect, paper would have been easier. I like that. What's the most pointless job in the world? Lifeguard at the Olympics. And then here's one, it's got to have one. Man walks into a bar. Man walks into a bar, sits down and orders a drink. Hey, nice tie, he hears out of nowhere. He looks up at the bartender to see if the bartender said anything, but he's on the other side of the bar. Hey, nice shirt. The man looks up again, but the bartender is engaged somewhere else. Hey, nice suit. The man hears out of nowhere again. So the guy calls the bartender over and asks him if he's a ventriloquist or if the bartender is talking to him. And the bartender says, oh no, it's not me. It's the complimentary peanuts. All right. Thanks for coming off mute to be the laugh track, Jamie. That was great.
There's nothing worse than like empty crickets.
Crickets.
Yeah.
I used to have a recorder with crickets on it. Great. Anyway, so we're getting ready to close. And as we get ready to close, I invite you to enjoy the journey. You wanted to be here as a spiritual being. Now, you chose to be here at this time. So have some joy along the way. And remember, you never travel alone. Spirit is with you. Your guides are with you. We are with you. And your community connections are with you. I thank you deeply for being here today, both here with me in earth and here in divine timing. I thank you for giving your time and attention, two of your most powerful resources in incarnation. I receive them with honor and gratitude. We'll stay on the line for a little social time. For those who'd like to visit, go ahead and stay on the call. Before I stop the recording, I'll say for those on recording, bye for now, and I will see you next time.